Alright, let's dive into this. Imagine being stuck on a cargo ship in the middle of a war zone, surrounded by missiles, drones, and political chaos, with no way out. Not because you're a soldier, not because you're a spy, but because you're a seafarer trying to do your job. That's the reality for 20,000 crew members trapped in the Persian Gulf since February. And honestly, this story isn't getting nearly enough attention. Let me break down why this situation is a humanitarian crisis, a geopolitical nightmare, and a wake-up call for global trade, all wrapped into one terrifying ordeal. First off, let's talk about the Strait of Hormuz. This tiny waterway handles about 20% of the world's oil. Now, picture that choke point turning into a battleground. The Minoan Pioneer, the ship that got hit by a mystery projectile recently, is just the tip of the iceberg. What's fascinating here isn't just the attack itself, but how it exposes a brutal truth: these crews are sitting ducks. They're trained to navigate storms, not missiles. The IMO's Secretary General says these ships aren't built to defend themselves. So here's the question: why are we letting civilians bear the cost of a war they didn't start? Now, let's zoom in on the human angle. One crew member described this as like being in prison. And honestly, that metaphor hits hard. Imagine being confined to a metal box, surrounded by water, with no control over when, or if, you'll get out. The mental toll must be catastrophic. The article mentions a sailor having a breakdown after 6 weeks. But here's what people misunderstand: this isn't just about stress. It's about the erosion of autonomy. These workers are professionals, not prisoners. Yet they're trapped by decisions made thousands of miles away. And let's not forget, the majority of these seafarers are from India and the Philippines. 2 countries that supply most of the world's maritime labor. So why aren't their governments shouting louder about this? The failed ceasefires and peace deals? That's where the hypocrisy kicks in. Every time a deal collapses, it's a gut punch to these crews. The June Memorandum of Understanding? A farce. Ships rushed to escape, but half couldn't make it. And now Oman's trying to mediate a deal where Iran would control traffic through the strait. Let me parse that: a country that's openly attacking ships would decide who gets to leave. That's like letting a fox guard a henhouse. And yet, the shipping industry is supposed to just accept this? But here's the deeper issue: this isn't just about Hormuz. The same month this crisis erupted, we saw attacks in the Red Sea, Iraq, and the Black Sea. July 2026 is being called one of the deadliest months ever for seafarers. So what does this pattern tell us? Globalization's infrastructure is crumbling under the weight of geopolitical fragmentation. The interconnected world we've built relies on invisible labor, people who risk their lives so your Amazon package arrives on time. And now, those cracks are showing. Let's end with a chilling thought. The IMO warns that if this drags on, fewer people will choose seafaring as a career. And if that happens, the entire global supply chain falters. No ships equals no goods. Simple as that. So when you hear about freedom of navigation in news cycles, remember, it's not just a policy buzzword. It's about the 20,000 souls stuck in limbo, wondering if they'll make it home alive. What's your take? Would you risk your life to keep the world economy afloat? Drop your thoughts below.